What's going on, lads, and welcome to the first YouTube video on the channel. Today we're going to start off with a video that will annoy all three people who will watch it. I have gone ahead and predicted every single result from the entirety of the 2021 Premier League season. Right? Understood? Good. Let's get into it. At 20th place, I have Aston Villa. Maybe this is biased talking because Villa rubs me the wrong way as a club, but I look at that squad and think there's no way on God's green earth that there are three worse sides than this. Yes, they signed Ollie Watkins and Matty Cash, who are exciting players from the Championship, but the defense is a shambles, and Dean Smith is a Championship level manager. At 19th place, I have somewhat of a surprise, but it is Crystal Palace. Palace are a side that have always been comfortable finishing between 14th and 10th in every single Premier League season since they were promoted in 2013. They signed Eze, who is a very good signing, but Zaha had a shocking season by his standards, and they ended in an atrocious form, with 5 goals after the restart. Couple this with an aging squad, and I think they will struggle with Hodgson leaving in January. The final team that will get relegated will be Fulham. They haven't spent as much as the previous time they were in the league back in 18-19, but I still have my doubts, particularly in the defense, even though they have signed a new pair of fullbacks in Kenny Tete and Anthony Robertson. Scott Parker is a good manager, but I think they won't have enough to stay up, and they'll get relegated on the final day. In 17th, I have West Brom. They haven't signed any new signings, just made the permanent arrivals of Grady Diangana and Pereira. With an exciting squad, I think Village will have just enough tactical nous to guide them to safety. 16th will be Newcastle United. Keep in mind, I made this table before Fraser and Wilson were signed. They have quietly built a very decent squad, but with Steve Bruce in charge, they can't expect too much. They will be deadly on the counter at times this season, but I think they'll underperform due to Bruce's incompetence. Don't forget Fraser downing tools for the entire season, relegating Bournemouth last year. He'll do it again at Newcastle. At 15th, I have Brighton and Hove Albion. Another comfortable season playing Potter ball for the Seagulls. They signed Lallana and Veltman, which are big signings for them, but I just think the teams above them have a little bit too much quality. They will blow hot and cold and get demolished by the bigger teams, but I say 15th is about right for where their squad is at. 14th, I have a very surprising one at Sheffield United. Definitely the ballsiest prediction in the entire list, but I think second season syndrome will hit them hard. We got a glimpse of it after the restart with them not having the best finishes to their season. Berga will have a great season, but I think teams will be able to cope with them just that little bit better this season, leaving them in 14th place. 13th, I have my boys West Ham United. Honestly, I have no idea why I have them this high up, just a gut feeling, but Moyes will be gone by Christmas, and then hopefully we'll get someone like Eddie Howe who has a brain and will get the best out of our attack. Haller is too far isolated in our current system under Moyes, and we have a terrible start. We may be looking at the worst start in the history of our club. The Diangana situation has once again fueled anger at the board, and it's a joke that we let him go. Alright, let's speed this up a bit. In 12th, I have Burnley. Nothing too special happening at Turf Moor, but Sean Dyche is a solid enough manager with a team of hard-working pros. Another comfortable season coming for Burnley, especially given the emergence of Dwight McNeil. In 11th, I have Leeds United, finally back after 16 long years from the wilderness, and I haven't been this excited for a newly promoted team in a long time. Bielsa Ball will get this championship-level squad comfortably in mid-table. They'll take some scalps off the top sides in the forms of Arsenal and Spurs, but maybe a little bit inconsistent to the deeper block. Very good season coming up for Leeds. Cracking into the top 10 will be Southampton. Their fans should be very optimistic for this coming season with Hassan Hoodle in charge. The players have fully taken to his system, and their form after the restart has been amazing, putting them third. They had the form to challenge for Europe, but I think that the other teams will just have too much, and a solid top 10 finish will be on the card. In 9th, I have a little bit of a disappointing season for this coming team, but I have Leicester. Losing Chilwell is not really replacing him will be a blow. Vardy is a year older, and they still don't have a good backup striker. Their midfield will win games in the forms of Tielemans and Ndidi, Chowdhury, and Madison, but I think it will draw far too many games this season. Rodgers will be under pressure come May, however I do think they'll have a very good run in the Europa League, potentially going to the semi-finals. Now getting into the race for European football, and I have Everton. With the signings of Allen, Hamas, and Doucouré, they've completely revitalized that failing midfield. Only reason they won't challenge for top 4 is their defense, particularly Pickford. will let them down massively this season, but overall it will be a very good first full season for Ancelotti. In 7th place, I have Tottenham Hotspur. Maybe this is bias speaking, but Spurs will be Spurs. So they have fixed their glaring weakness at right back with the arrival of Matt Doherty. I just think that Mourinho will have a meltdown and tick off way too many players, and squad morale will tank, with Mourinho leaving at the end of the season. In 7th place will be Spurs. Maybe this is bias speaking, but I think Spurs are in for a very disappointing season. They fixed their glaring weakness at right back with the arrival of Matt Doherty. I just think that Mourinho will have a meltdown like normal, and squad morale will tank, with him leaving at the end of the season. 6th place will be Wolves. Letting Doherty go will be a blow, but Nuno must have a plan if they're willing to let him go for only 15 mil. And with the arrivals of Martial from Lyon and Fabio Silva from Porto, they added depth to a very thin squad. Champions League football will be a step too far, but with no Europa League, they can focus solely on the league, which is why they'll just edge Spurs into 6th. Just missing out on Champions League football, in my opinion, will be Arsenal. They have fixed their center-back problem with the arrivals of Gabriel and Saliba. And with Xhaka coming back into the form into the last 9 months, they have a decent midfield. Arteta has looked very good since he came in, and it's very similar to how Liverpool looked when Klopp first came in. It looks like Alba will sign a contract extension, meaning their strike force will be set up for the next couple of years. However, I think they'll just miss out on the final day. In 4th place will be Man United. With an exciting young squad with the likes of Rashford and Greenwood, they should be very fun to watch, similar to how they ended last season. And with the additions of Donny van de Beek, will provide flexibility in the midfield. It does raise the problem of the midfield against the better teams. With a midfield three of Van de Beek, Bruno, and Pogba, there's not much defensive solidity, but they should blitz the lesser sides, like my boys West Ham or Fulham. The only issue with them is left back and right wing, but I think the firepower that they have should push them on into the Champions League ahead of Arsenal. Now, coming into 3rd may be a shock, but I think it will be the reigning champions, Liverpool. They missed out on Thiago from Bayern, and it looks like Wijnaldum may be off to Barcelona, meaning their midfield may be a little bit unstable. They have the best fullback duo in the world, but their form after lockdown worries me after being smacked by Man City and then proceeding to lose to Arsenal in the FA Cup. I think they'll have a little bit of a hangover from last season and finish 3rd in a very competitive 3-horse race. Just missing out on the title will be Chelsea. With the incredible summer they have, fixing every weak point in the squad, I think they're in for a title challenge. Havertz, Werner, Ziyech, Chilwell, and then the signing of the Rennes keeper, Mendy. They have upgraded massively in every single position. However, I think Lampard will take some time to get the squad gelling, which means they'll drop a lot of points at the beginning of the season. That City will not. They'll have an amazing end to the season and may be in for a very good Champions League run, but I think they'll just miss out on the tape. Now, getting into the title challenge, I think we're in for the best title race since 13-14, with 3 teams fighting out. In 3rd place, I think will be Liverpool. They missed out on Thiago from Bayern, and it looks like Wijnaldum may be off to Barcelona. They have the best fullback duo in the world, but their form after lockdown worries me. And I think they'll have a little bit of a hangover season, given their form after lockdown, losing to the likes of Man City and Arsenal, and finish 3rd in a 3-horse race, but will be very close to the title throughout the season. Just missing out on the title, in my opinion, will be Chelsea. With the incredible summer they have had, which has included the likes of Werner, Ziyech, Havertz, Chilwell, and Mendy, they have fixed every weak point in the squad. However, I do have my doubts on whether or not Lampard can get the squad to gel in the opening months of the season. Henceforth, why I think they'll be missing out on the title. But I think they're in for an incredible second half of the season, blitzing teams in and out, and will have a very good run to the Champions League, getting to the semifinals, in my opinion. Obviously, this means I think Man City will be winning the league again. I know, it's boring, but let's be honest, it looks like they'll sign Koulibaly, and with him and the addition of Ake, their defense will be sorted. This will have the best attack in Europe with the likes of Aguero, Mahrez, Sterling, Bernardo Silva, and Gabby Jesus, and the best player in the league with Kevin De Bruyne. And with Rodri and Cancelo gelling into the squad, similar to how we had Bernardo Silva gel into the squad in his first season, I think they'll be the City of 2 years ago, amassing well over 90 points. Mark your diaries for the 15th of May, where they'll travel to Stamford Bridge on the penultimate game of the season for the title-deciding match. It will be immense. Well, there you have it. These are my predictions for the Premier League season for 2020-21. Couple ballsy shouts in there with likes of Sheffield United finishing below West Ham. But I can't wait to see me get 20 out of 20. Can't be worse than last year when I got 2 out of 20. In all seriousness, if you liked the video, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and until next time, goodbye.